Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am not Nicholas Anthony Tockert. I am Joe Bachman. And due to some internet issues from Earl Park having their festival this weekend, I am taking over the show again today. With that, to start us off, as usual, the program is brought to you by indiecd.org, which is the Independent Creator Directory. You can find other great streamers, musicians, authors, artists, comic book writers, a whole bunch of different genres on there. We did add a podcast section now that you can find pretty much any independent creator that you like. Also, I do have the books with me, but I was doing a little testing while the intro was running, and they don't show up with me running a green screen background like this that well. But this is also brought to you by Nick's books of The Simple Sword, The Simple Spear, The Fighting Axe, and his Big Stumpy Robots books. So with that, get into some accountability this morning. I was supposed to have a podcast episode released this morning at 7 a.m. Central, and it didn't release because Spotify, for whatever reason, deemed my password was not secure enough, even though it allowed me to set that password, and locked me out of my account. And I didn't know this until, I think it was Saturday, I started working on uploading the show, or uploading my podcast, and I went to log in, and it said that, invalid username and password. Well, I know I changed it before, and I check, and it was the latest password that I had set it for. So I hit the forgot password button and never got an email. About an hour later, I hit it again, never got an email. So I get a hold of their support, and they're like, "Oh yeah, your account's locked down, so you need to email the support group and have them unlock it." Awesome. So apparently, about 12:30 this morning, they emailed me back and said, "Oh, your account's unlocked. Just go in and reset the password. You'll be able to do everything now." I didn't see that until I got up at like 7:45, 8 o'clock, and by that time I had to eat breakfast and get ready for the show. So after the show today, I will be uploading episode 3 of the Independent Creator Directory podcast. This week I talked about Michaela Jade's books and Aunt Donna's books. So And then next week is Carl, and I can't remember who the other one is. I'd have to look. I don't remember. But with that, it is Labor Day. Hopefully, people are enjoying the day off today. And we're going to go ahead and jump into these comments. So first through the door at 8:31, because I'm in the proper time zone for Indiana, unlike Nick. Um, we have Alec Creations. Good morning, Alec. Yes, the Extreme Gradient Edition. Yes, and I even put that as my background for this morning, and purposely wore a green shirt so that I would be a floating head. And we have Carl Witzman through the door. Good morning, Carl. Carl saying hello to Alec. Alec saying hello back, and Alec is not awake yet. I know that feeling. I have had some caffeine this morning. I still require more. Carl says it's okay. I'm barely awake. Got to get more coffee and a Pop-Tart or something. I had a bagel with cream cheese for breakfast and a little thing of yogurt, which was quite filling and satisfying. But we're here for pirate broadcasting. Yes, yes, I have taken over this morning. Alex says, fair, I have coffee and I haven't taken my meds yet, so I should get some coffee myself. Oh, well, I literally just woke up not even 30 minutes ago. Yeah, go get your coffee, take your meds, eat breakfast if that is required with the meds. I've learned the hard way that I have to eat breakfast with my meds. Uh, Alex says, Joe has taken over only for today. Carl says he'll be right back with his Gradient Army. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear from Nick on this one about the gradient background here. Alex says, alrighty to Carl. Carl says, I've been up since 4 a.m., so I am awake at least. Donna was up at 6:30, but she went back to bed. I don't blame her. If I was her, I would have gone back to bed too. And yeah, even being up since 4 a.m., Carl, I would have probably grabbed a nap before the show started today. Carl says accountability. Didn't do much writing over the weekend. It's a long story and I won't bore everyone. Oh, if you feel like telling it, you know where to put it here in the comments. My accountability for the weekend, like I said, I did the episode 3 for the NDCD podcast. I did get a new flyer set up for the parks board that I'm on, so that for our next cornhole tournament, got that sent out. I think that's about all I really accomplished this weekend. So I need to try and get a few more things done today, I guess. Alex says I would be Donna because I like my sleep. Yes. I like sleep. Sleep doesn't like me for some reason, though, and I don't know why. I don't know what I did to make sleep mad. Carl says Calvin Cat wanted me up at 4:30, so I got up. Right now he's begging for a taste of the Pop-Tart filling. Of course he got some. Spoiled. Yeah, so my wife and I have rats as pets, and this morning, even after getting their morning little treats, I was sitting there with my bagel and cream cheese, and I look up at the cage, and here's this rat just by the edge of the cage, little nose just a wiggling, looking at me, sniffing, just trying to beg for some cream cheese from me. So later today, they'll get some slices of cheddar cheese, so they'll be happy. Carl says I should be outdoors trimming the weeds, but thankfully Joe has saved me from all that today. If I think with the way the weather is supposed to be today, Carl, if you wanted to do the weeds, you probably should have done that at 4 a.m. when it was cooler out. I think today is supposed to be another hot, like almost 90-degree day, at least here in Indiana. Um, Yeah, it's 79 right now, and it says the real feel is 88. So, yeah, you probably would have wanted to do that at Dark 30 this morning. Yeah, they're showing 92 for here in Indiana, so I imagine down in central Illinois it's going to be the same, if not worse. Yeah, I wouldn't advise even doing that after the show today. Let's see. Then we have Donna Carleen here saying good morning to Alec and the Witzman dude. She's awake. And the summoning of dawn has started this morning. I was up at the crack of dawn this morning. He 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 he. Okay, that was one mention of dawn. Now two. One more for the summoning. Dawn, wake up! Yes, Dawn, we do need you here in the morning. You do help keep this lively group going. So quiet here, just waiting for someone to spoil it by calling me today. Now, Carl, you know this. Never use the Q word. Saying the Q word is just setting yourself up for failure. It's going to now be a noisy, busy day. You know, it's I don't even use the Q word on the job site because I know even with the job site I'm on this year, if I say that it's quiet out there, there'll end up being a 10-car pileup, and we don't even have 10 cars that come through the job site in an hour. So, Donna asks, is it too late to ask for more coffee? It is never too late to ask for coffee. Nope, be right there. Yeah, it's never too late to ask for coffee because the great thing about these shows, you can always rewind just a little bit and then catch back up. Sorry, I decided I needed to take my meds and eat, so that's what I'm doing. Good, good, Alec, good. And we're going to skip past my random comment. Witzman, dude, you're awesome. Carl says, did I just see Joe B? Nah, must have been the Flash. Yep, yeah, I snuck in to drop my likes on the show real quick and scurry off back to the backstage here again. And Grant Lankert is here. Good morning, Grant. Aw, shucks. And we have greetings to Grant from Carl and Donna. And greetings back from Grant. I was just cuddling Yoshi. Yes, must get the morning cuddles in. Carl says, aw. Ooh, comment dump. Carl, I went over and watched a bit of Alley Cat's show, reminding her that we met on your show, dropped a like for her. Very nice. Is that a show that generally takes place early in the morning? If so, actually, if you have a link to it, drop it in the comments. That way I can go back later and take a look. Grant Lankard, she is nice. Uh, Greetings to Alec, myself, and Donna. Trying to encourage people to come over to the dark side. Although the dark side is more likely that infamous Friday Night Live chat. I think your infamous Friday Night Live chat is starting to have some competition on Thursday nights. So at least that's been the rumor here lately. It's the head of Joby. Yes. Yeah, I figured a green shirt this morning would be appropriate to try and get as much gradient in as possible. And I don't know if Nick's watching the show right now or not, but I know he senses a disturbance in the force. I like the floating head. Well, it was a toss-up between going with this background or going with the MGM logo style background. I figured the bright colors was better for a Monday morning, kind of get everybody up and pumping and going. Good morning, everyone, and a floating Joe head from Dawn. Good morning, Dawn. How are you today? And we have greetings to Dawn. It worked! Hey, Dawn! Yes, the summoning of Dawn has worked. First, you must wake up at the crack of dawn, and then just casually mention her name, and then yell for Dawn to wake up. Greetings, Grant. Donna saying hello to me. Hello, Donna. I do not have the sultry voice that Nick Tockert does, but I do my best. Hey, Donna, it did work. Grant says, no Grant draws tonight. I have to be at work at 4 a.m. tomorrow. That is totally understandable. I know I've had nights like that, so, but we do look forward to seeing a show next week from you. Dawn, yep. Thanks for the help Friday night. Joey, be good. Yeah, we still need to get together and work on that a little bit more. That or a webcam is just going to mysteriously appear on your doorstep. I haven't decided which yet, and I haven't had enough caffeine yet to decide which. Don says, yuck, Grant, but such is life. Yep. They shut down the service over the holiday. I'm guessing that's to Grant. I have no idea why they want me at work at 4 a.m. I'm working an Aerosmith concert. I find it hard to believe they have that much stuff on their stage. That seems, unless the concert is at like 8 a.m. I why would you need to be there at 4? Are you sure they didn't screw up and they meant like 4 p.m. instead? That seems a bit excessive, even with. I mean, I know most concerts they have like an opening act for the concert. Um, but even the opening acts, and there's not like they have a whole ton of stuff. So, that seems really rather odd. Um, but with that, I am going to run our first ad of the morning. As soon as I can find what I'm looking for here, I am not running my own ad. I've already talked about NDCD. Let's run a. We're going to start off with something that has a little more upbeat tempo to it than usual. We're going to start off with a commercial from Kat Rothermel.
Hi, this is Kat. During the school year, I'm Mrs. Rothermel, but otherwise, I'm Rock and Roll Art Goddess, writing about my past and filming the present. I need you to join my Rock and Roll Art army and to check out my merch on Zazzle.com. What started out as journal therapy is now 4 books, I see, and an Instagram account to blow off steam, becoming a book, with another to do the same. A short film for a friend. No, this is not the end. Peace, love, and let me art.
All right. And one other thing I do want to mention too, folks. I know I mentioned this earlier. I'm doing a podcast for NDCD, and I am using some of the same ads that you see on the various live streams, also on that podcast. But most of the most of the ads have no words to them. They're just music. So right now, the only two that I'm really able to use are Joe D. McPhee's and Cat Rothermill's. If you want to record an audio advertisement, I will be more than happy to add it in to the rotation on the podcast. And even if you don't have an audio recording software like Audacity on your computer, if you do have access to StreamYard, record it, trim it down to whatever section is. Oh, you did a comment dump on me when I wasn't looking. You little dog, you were just fine where you were at. I had my mouse on the last comment, and as I was talking about this, all of a sudden I realized that it shot down. Anyway, you can record it in StreamYard. Don't do it as audio only. Do it as a full video. Send it to me. I can use my software to pull just the audio off of it, and that way I can add it into the podcast. So, Carl says, there she is. Oh, that was Dawn. Had to run back through my head where we were at and talking with stuff. Carl says, thanks, Grant. We won't be sitting here wondering where you are. Yeah. Dawn says, I guess maybe in case there's an issue. For starting to set up a concert at 4 a.m., there better be a lot of issues. Otherwise, it's going to be a really long, boring day. And Dawn says, hi, Carl. And Carl says, what work, Dawn? Saying my name 3 times and I appeared. Aha, yay! Grant, I'm starting to get nervous about working this Aerosmith concert. I don't know why they want me there so early. It's also a 2-day setup. I'm trying to think if I've ever seen video of an Aerosmith concert. I don't know. I don't think they're a band that really uses like a bunch of different like light strobe effects. I don't think they're a band that uses like any pyrotechnics really. At least none of their songs that I could think of would need it. But yeah, that is really weird that that they're a 2-day setup. What uh, I don't know if you're allowed to say this or not, Grant, but what other acts do they have coming with them for this concert? We're just going to leave that alone. I never forget Grant is faster than me. Actually, I had grape nuts for breakfast. Does that count? I'm going to regret this, and Nick, I am sorry for asking this on your broadcast, but what are grape nuts? Because I have no idea what those actually are. Don says, sure, all nuts count. Yes. We're just going to go ahead and throw this up here real quick. And then we're going to throw this one up just because it's funny. Cha! And back to the comments. There we are. Alex says, oh my god, rats. I love rats. Yes, we have, well, we are down to 2 rats. 2 of our rats have recently passed away in about the last 2 weeks. Sable, which was our all black rat, he passed kind of suddenly. We gave him their morning treats, and 2 hours later, he had passed. The other one was Wild Thing, which was our albino. But we knew that one was coming because he was up there in age. He had to be close to 3 years old. So, and that's kind of the sad thing about having rats for pets is they do not have a long lifespan. About 2 to 3 years. About 2 years is average. 3 years, and you know that's pushing the high end limit of their lifespan. So, uh, Dawn says accountability, more stuff to do around the house that has been put off. I do love Ted's new job. We are getting shit done. Yes, yeah, a new schedule really does help with that. Oh God, considering all the nut jokes they make, they're gonna have a field day with knowing Joby is into cornhole. Oh yeah, let's leave that discussion for Thursday night on Last Man Standing, if we can, or Friday night in the green room. Yeah, Dawn. Yeah, weeds can wait. Yeah, and it's already 77 there. Yeah, it's and that's just the temperature. I imagine real feels probably about the same for you guys, probably in the upper 80s. Properly. Oh nope, that's a beyond LMS and green room comment. Alex says, "No, I'm sobbing. It's also 77 here. I prefer when it's in the 50s and 60s. I I don't mind the 70s as long as it's not 70s with like 100% humidity. Um, 50s and 60s are nice when we're doing paving on a job site. Um, it makes it a little more bearable to stand next to that paver. 70s really aren't even that bad. Uh, Standing next to the paver. It's the humidity that ends up getting us in this area. Carl says I've been doing it right after sunrise, a little bit every day that I can. Good idea. Yeah, that's probably going to be about the best time for doing any yard work, at least through this week. Um, well, Thursday actually is supposed to cool back off. We're looking at uh, 70 degrees on Thursday, so that'll be a nice reprieve. Looks like there's some thunderstorms on Wednesday, so at least for our area. So you guys might get the cool down with us. And it's looking like mostly low to mid 70s after that, all the way through, pretty much all the way through the end of the month. Only thing I'm hoping for is the forecast changes for Sunday, September 24th, because right now it's showing rain, and I have a cornhole tournament that day. Let's see. Grant says, "Yeah, I hate summer. Definitely looking forward to the cooler weather of fall." Yes. Same, Grant. The only problem will be that it will go from 80 degrees directly to snow. We'll have 4 hours of autumn. Yeah, uh, that seems to be that those numbers check out. Yeah. Don says, "Oh, drop Alley Cat's link, please." Carl says, "I don't even recall when Alley Cat's show is, but it's on Nita's channel. I'll go look." Awesome. The floating head reminds me of the genie from Pee Wee's Playhouse. Why do I not remember the floating head? The genie. I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look at some old episodes of Pee-wee's Playhouse that I haven't seen in years. Carl's has the link in the Comics Network /videos. Be able to find Alley Cat's videos on there. Nick would probably lose it with all the gradient. Yeah. I didn't even know this was so. When I do my lovely backgrounds, I use a website called photop.com, and it's kind of a web-based, watered-down version of like Photoshop. And I was gonna go with the normal, gradient, just 2-color gradient background that I normally do, and I saw a setting. I'm like, oh, I wonder what this does. So I clicked on it and I drug, and it gave me this whole thing of colors. I'm like, oh, that's going to be the background now. Don says, please go back to the MGM and roar, and then back to gradient, please. Hold on. A grr. There you go, Don. Carl says we have a mic and cam for Dawn, just waiting for Andana to arrange a trip over. Okay, awesome. Grant says Nick doesn't like gradients. There's a long story behind that. So the apps that I developed for work that I released on iOS and Google Play stores. I will be the very first to admit I have no artistic ability in me. I cannot draw a straight line with a ruler and somebody's hand guiding mine. My stick figures don't look like stick figures. So, when I was creating the icons for my apps, I did a nice little gradient background and the text of what the app was. And this hurt Nick's soul. So now it's just kind of a running joke between Nick and I. Because when I did his Big Stompy Robots apps, I created gradient backgrounds and sent them to him, which he very quickly drew up and sent me something else back to use. So yeah, it's I don't know that it's so much that he hates them. I think it's more that they kind of hurt his soul. So, but now I just do it because, well, what are friends for if, I can't go through and have a little bit of fun. And Carl says, an audio ad? How would I do that? Maybe I use Audacity. And you can find a book from Carl Witzman on Lulu.com about how to use Audacity. Which, thank you again, Carl, for sending that over. Grand Lankard, you little dog, you. And Alex says, it's like Beetlejuice. Say Don's name 3 times spoken and unbroken. I wonder if Aerosmith got to a concert, found it not finished, and got ticked off about it. That's okay. That is a very good possibility. They may have had a concert where the venue said, oh, we can start setting this up at 4 o'clock for an 8 o'clock concert, and 10 o'clock rolls around and they're still not able to play. That's actually a very good possibility. Grape Nuts is a cereal. Okay. It's little bits of inedible chunks like gravel. No. Thank you, Carl. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah. Grape nuts are very chewy and supposedly good for digestion and health. Yep, with no top teeth, grape nuts are no. Yeah, I could see that. Nick needs a picture of Rich's not last man standing and make it into a graphic. Calvin comes up to Mommy for cuddles, smells her stinky cigar, and goes to lie down in the window. Oopsie! Yeah. That's what is missing in Nick's version of Weather Report. See, there we go. Now we can have Nick start doing weather and college football has started. We could always throw in a sports report too here and there. Alex says, "Was it with people in Indiana with cornhole and bowling?" Well, you see, Alec, there's not much to do in Indiana here, especially in the northern part. Most people would say, "Oh, well, why don't you go to Chicago and go visit the city?" Well, that's because we'd have to not only fight with our own construction, we'd have to fight with their construction. And we'd even have to fight with the construction on the South Shore line because half those stations are closed currently due to the double track expansion. But no, cornhole's it's a fun game. Actually, if for those who are in the cornhole, if you want a bigger challenge, same game but use washers. One of my wife's uncles had a version that it was the same, sloped board and had a little hole cut out in it. And he had, there's 3 different size washers that you could use. The biggest of the washers left maybe like this much around the whole edge to be able to get the washer into the hole. So that was actually a much bigger challenge trying to keep those washers on the board. You had to figure out how to throw them kind of flat so that they would land flat. And yeah, it was interesting. As for bowling, I don't have an answer to. Jamba the Genie. And apparently I got Alec with the agur. Sorry, I was afraid of it before. It hurt Nick's soul. Yes, I do realize that it does. Don says, "Carl, we're having lunch at Busy Corner tomorrow with Dawn." But you're having lunch. Does that mean you're also getting a piece of the pie there? Don says, "Yay." Carl, wow, that was fast. Alex says, "Oh, I have to go. Bye, folks. Have a great Labor Day." You too, Alec. Great seeing you this morning. Look forward to seeing you again Wednesday and Friday for Nick's show. And it is 9:39. We're going to run another ad. Let's run one. Let's run Joe D. McPhee's real quick.
Hi, I am Joe D. McPhee. I am the host of From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher, and I want to cordially invite you to watch our show Saturdays at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. On our show, we will have different guests as well as talk about the comic book industry and pop culture. And every so often, I might actually do a drawing session or a 3D rendering session every here and there. So once again, I want to invite you to watch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher right here on the broadcast channel that you're looking at, whether it be Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Hope to see you there, and make certain that you catch From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks.
All right. And you can also catch Jody McPhee on Comic Book Spectrum on Thursday nights. So, let's see, we have Alex saying goodbye. We have Carl says bye, Alec. Dawn, bye, Alec. Have a great day. Chicago, yuck, yeah. That's how I felt about Chicago even when I did Uber. I didn't like taking people there. Liked the money for taking people there. Didn't like the drive back. Paraphrasing song from an ad, there's more than cornhole in Indiana. Yeah, there's not much more than cornhole in Indiana. Don says, I've played washers before. Once got roped into playing a tournament. Somehow we won. Y'all are going to get me in trouble with Nick. No. Donna's better than Calvin about getting what she wants. I'm quite the handy lady. I was screwing Liz during the green room last night. Wait. Today's Monday. Did I miss a room last night? Donna says, of course we're getting pie. That's the whole idea of going to busy corner. We always do when we go Peoria way. Don's last Friday. Okay. I was confused. I really thought I missed a room last night for some reason. Don says, busy corner pie. We should dirty as many dishes as we can. Joe, we really hope that you can come to LibraryCon. Yes, LibraryCon. Thank you for mentioning that, Carl. I totally spaced that off. Saturday at the Benton County Library in Fowler, Indiana. LibraryCon will be taking place. Nick and Amanda Tockert will be there. Carl and Donna will be there. I think BKM will be there. I think that's it from the group. Correct me if I'm wrong, Carl. My wife and I do plan on making the trip down there this Saturday. So I look forward to actually meeting all of you in person. I skipped a comment. How did I skip a comment? I read that you can put small bowls of rice in moist places to help keep it drier. That makes sense, seeing as, they say to put your electronics in rice if they get wet, which oddly enough, I have seen that work. So that really does make sense. Poke some holes in the tops of the lids, put some rice in the jar. Yeah, that does make sense. We'd never let you miss a green room, Joe. I appreciate that. Don says, I'm excited for my plans on Saturday, but bummed I'll be missing LibraryCon. Yeah, there'll be another time that we'll get to meet Don. Carl says it'll be awesome to meet you two. I hope that Rich can come, but we understand if he doesn't. Yep, hopefully Richie will be able to come down there. I don't know if the building will be able to handle Nick, Richie, myself, and my wife all in the same building. That could be dangerous for those involved. So, but we are 45 minutes into the show. And I think with it being Labor Day, we're going to go ahead and call it a little short. But I appreciate you guys coming out this morning and giving me a chance to, host the show again and, have a little fun this Monday morning. Carl says it's the stress when BK and Nick are in the same room. Yeah, that's going to be interesting, having both of them in the same room also. And then throw my wife into the mix, who can be the quiet, she's there, but you tend to forget that she's there until all of a sudden you hear the little quip come out, and you go, "That little thing just made that burn." Ooh. So, Carl says, "Thanks for doing a show, Joe." Don says, "Yes, thanks for doing the show. It was fun. I'm glad you guys had fun this morning. I know I did, and I look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday for another Nevermind the Furthermore. It will be back to the regular edition uh, with Nick Tockert. Supposedly, I'm going to be on 3 to 11s for the remainder of the week. I go in my normal time tomorrow, and then 3 to 11s the rest of the week if the contractor has their equipment fixed. So, who knows? I may pop backstage again and mess with Nick. Who knows? So, but anyway, see you guys Wednesday, and be sure to check out ndcd.org for all of the latest and greatest from our great creators. Have a great day, everyone.